I heard you talk a little bit about the secularization of meditation, kind of separating it from the Buddhist rituals and practices. For you. And what came to mind for me was the Jon Kabat-Zinn kind of version of Buddhism. Or not, version of meditation.
Yeah, Jon Kabat-Zinn was one of the original Western U.S. Individuals that really popularized it. Also created a lot of good scientific research around it. Mm-hmm. It came to the States back in the 70s during the peace, love, and freedom movements of the hippie generation. And so they would that generation started to go over to India to seek gurus to follow. The Beatles were important in that activity. They went over to India and practiced in an ashram over there. And they popularized that idea. So people started to go over there, and several of them went over and went into the area of the world, which was Burma at the time, that practiced the Theravadan tradition. And those were people that are still teaching, people like Jack Kornfield, Sharon Salzberg, Joseph Goldstein. And they came back to teach that version of mindfulness, and they were calling it was translated as mindfulness. It's also clear seeing, clear understanding, so they started to teach that. They started a center in Barre, Massachusetts, called the Insight Meditation Society, and that was the very first Insight meditation center in the U.S. So once that happened, that's why when Jon Kabat-Zinn, who was located in Massachusetts, started taking classes there, he brought it back to the medical world, and that's a whole nother offshoot. But he also wrote books that popularized it, and that's actually where I heard the expression is he says our job is to take Buddhism out of the Buddhism, and so that's where the secularization began. So what happened over time was that the gurus or the teachers from the East came over to a very interested audience in the U.S., and they started to integrate their practices into the U.S. World of meditation. And just like the U.S. is considered a melting pot of ideas and cultures, we became a melting pot for all the different gurus coming over here to establish their version of it. And what was interesting is that we started to see how those teachers would argue amongst themselves about what was right, because they had their way of doing it that had been developed in their particular area, and they had become, over years and years and generations, they had become the experts. They're the current living master in that tradition, and they would come over. And so there was a lot of conflicting Buddhisms. There was everything from the Theravadan to the Zen. And so all that was coming over along with the Hindu meditation types. So anyway, I'll hit the pause button here in a second, but that's where we became a melting pot to create a more secular version of meditation. Yeah.